So we're here at Linaro Connect, and so who are you?
My name is Deepak Saxena, and I am with Linaro. I lead the kernel working group at Linaro.
So since when?
Since about a year ago. I actually joined last May, and my first day at Linaro was actually at Connect in Budapest, and sort of showed up and jumped in and got really involved.
Why do you join Linaro?
I joined Linaro because I've been working in open source software for 12 years now, and I really felt like Linaro was really doing the kind of work I wanted to be involved with for a long time. You know, I saw this organization that was focused on new technology development, upstream R&D, helping silicon vendors figure out how to work better with the community. It was sort of like the dream position for me.
And so, for example, you worked with OLPC before?
Yeah, so before Linaro, I worked on a couple of different things. Right before Linaro, I was in Mentor Graphics. I was working on random kernel stuff and consulting, helping people learn a little more about Linux. I was with OLPC for about a year and a half. I was the maintainer of their kernel, working on getting patches upstream and fixing bugs. Before that, I worked at Monte Vista Software for about 8 years, maintaining their kernel, helping with technology roadmap development, that sort of thing.
So what is the big challenge right now here?
Well, we've got a couple of challenges in the kernel. One of the big challenges we've got is this idea we're calling the single kernel image. So one of the best way to explain is that if you go and buy a laptop, if you buy any laptop from any developer or from any vendor, you can get a copy of Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE. You can install it on the laptop. That's not quite the same with ARM processors right now. If you buy one cell phone versus a different cell phone, you have to have a custom kernel for that cell phone. As we see ARM Linux going to the enterprise world, so back-end servers, networking equipment, that sort of thing, that becomes a really big problem. That you have to, for every little change you make to the board, you have to build a brand new configuration of your kernel. So what we're working on is solving the design issues in the kernel to create a single kernel image that will boot across any ARM platform. And that will help us sort of build the bigger ecosystem around enterprise. And it's not quite as useful in the mobile world in terms of the development and the deployment, but it will be really useful from a testing point of view, because you'll be able to build a kernel and test it across a variety of devices that you're shipping.
And so how big of a job was it to maintain kernels on each different platform and all that?
It's been a pretty big job. It's one of the reasons that we have some of the issues we have today. So the history of Linaro a little bit. One of the things we've been focusing on a lot the last 2 years, what we're calling kernel consolidation. So the single kernel image is sort of the ultimate holy grail, and we're working on all these little steps to get there. And what we've had in the kernel is a lot of differing implementations of the same thing, a lot of code that clashes with each other. And the reason is because it was a lot of work for just one maintainer to handle it. We've had just one maintainer in the Linux ARM community, and it was a lot of code being thrown at him, and it was more than one person to handle. So a lot of code just kind of went in. At one point there was sort of a decision, well, board-specific and platform-specific code can just sort of bypass and go straight directly upstream, and because of that, it created this mess. So we've created a subgroup within Linaro that's working with some other community members to maintain what we're calling ARM SoC ports. So doing the actual work to maintain the ports of the ARM kernel to different chipsets and different platforms, and that currently is 2 people. And they take turns doing the work, and they're fully pegged. And it's something I could easily use another person or 2 probably. It's a pretty big task because we have a lot of different platforms, a lot of different processors. We're probably the most diverse architecture that's supported in the Linux kernel.
And these 2 people are
Arne Bergman, he works with IBM for IBM. He's a assignee of Linaro, and Olaf Johnson, who works for Google in the Chrome team.
And so, what is your exact angle in here? How do you define what you do?
My role? So, my role is I'm sort of halfway between a tech lead and a manager. I came in as a pure tech lead, but I've got a pretty large team of 13, 14 people, and so my role is kind of working with my team to understand what are the problems that need to be solved in the community, whether they be things like single image. We're also doing a lot of work around storage technology and improving performance and lifetime of devices. We're going to be doing some work around debug and around enterprise. So I work with the people in my team to understand what is the status of different things upstream, and I work with upper level management, which isn't very big. We're not a multi-tiered company with 10 levels of management, so it's really my manager and what we call the TSC, the Technical Steering Committee of Linaro, to set direction of what is my team going to focus on, what's important for us and for our members.
Is it easy to figure out what to do every day?
Yeah. There's a lot of different things to do. There's days when it's like reply to email. My days are spent replying to a bunch of emails. There's days where it's like, okay, I need to go update a spreadsheet with the status of all these projects. There's days where every once in a while I do actually get to look at code and kind of dive a little bit deep and get excited about that and try to figure out how do we solve this problem.
So it's awesome, or what?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. Yeah.
Could it be even more awesome, or?
Someone had mentioned something about hosting Linaro Connect in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Yeah, then it would be really awesome.
And during the whole year, or just?
Sure, no. I work from home. That's one of the great things about this position, and a lot of people at Linaro do work from home. It's a great opportunity to work in open source, help the Linux community, help the industry and the community kind of come together a little more from the comfort of my home.
Cool. Where?
Portland, Oregon.
All right. So it's a cool place.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. Yeah, I would say it's the best city in the U.S.
Best city in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right.